All right, yeah, so now that I've pulled out a little bit further, I can see how small that ledge is. It would have been fairly silly to try to, include that. Of course, that's dependent on how big this thing is, right? If this is like, I don't know, a vehicle or something, you would probably want to put it in there. But if it's something the size of a screwdriver, probably not really all that useful. And here, once again, I have a primitive. So I think I'm going to do the same thing I did over here, except this circle is larger. So let's go ahead and leave quad draw for just a moment. I do have some faces here. I can leave those for now. I'm going to hide that. Retop. And we're going to go to create. We're going to make a cylinder. Let me back out of that. Go to the options, polygon cylinder. And we had 16 for that little one. I think I'm going to do 24. Might be overkill, but it's pretty big and it's pretty round, so whatever, we'll see. Okay, so I need to go to channel box, make sure my rotation is accurate. And we'll just try to center this. Looks like I've still got my live surface on. Tap the insert key, hold the V key for vertex snap. So now I'm going to be working from that top center vert there. And we'll just get it as close as we can. All right, so I'm going to go to vertex and then select convert selection to edges and then edit mesh connect. No, it didn't like that. Let's try it one more time. There we go. And then here again, we've got our, for some reason, the pivot for this edge should be right here, but it's not, so we'll just delete history. Maybe freezing transforms will be sufficient. Let's find out. Yeah, okay, so it's a transform issue. And I'm just going to hide it real quick. Okay, so we're going to want another edge loop. So I'm just going to grab these out here because these are quads, which means I can very easily just do a shift, select one, and then double click the next one over, and it'll grab the whole ring. And then from here I can just do a connect. And I'm going to scale this one in, and then this is going to be, let me go ahead and hide this. Shift H to show the high poly. We'll scale this one out. And then we don't really know exactly how far it's supposed to go down. I'm actually going to we'll go to vertex and then select convert selection to faces. That way these guys stay planar. So it looks like right about there. And then I'm going to grab this edge, scale it out to about there. Awesome. All right, and then I'm going to do one more. Actually, I think that's fine. For the outside edge, it's not that difficult. I guess I'll go and do it. All right. So going to go to edge. Whoops. So what I just did is I went to edge, but I was, mousing over another poly object. So I was like, oh, did you mean those edges? If you do it out here, it'll just be like, oh, you're talking about the one that's currently selected. So we'll do a mesh and then connect. I wonder why it's not liking that. Connect. And we're just going to kind of scale this up a little bit, bring it to the surface, scale it in until we get that angle about right. Cool. All right. And then I'm going to hide. Oops, I just grouped it on accident. So we don't need all of these internal edges to be, you know, basically adding to the count here. I don't know. Let's just leave it alone. We can always collapse them later if we need to. It's just kind of expensive. All right, display. Let's go ahead and show this again. Well, okay, so here's our retop. I'm going to go ahead and just delete all of these faces, because we're going to want to basically integrate these two things here. So this pivot right there in the middle, which is where we want it, I'm going to go ahead and do a, we'll just clean it up. So delete the history, modify center pivot, modify freeze transforms, and I'm going to select the retop, and then I'm going to select this. And we'll go mesh combine. Once again, delete by type history. And now, that mirror operation worked so well last time. Let's see if it does again. Sweet. Cool. Okay. So that is now taken care of. And once again, we have a perfect procedural cylinder there for that circular area, so that should be just fine. And it doesn't look too dense relative to what else is going on here. All right. So let's show our high poly once again. Go back over to the modeling toolkit, enable quad draw. Sorry, I need to make this surface live. Otherwise, quad draw will not be, I won't understand what surface I want to work with. And it'll give me some problems there. All right. So we got this one. And I'm just going to kind of roll around. Whoops, I just hit W, the hotkey for move, which is not necessary if you're in quad draw. You just grab your little vert there and do whatever you want with it. And I'm going to use tab and middle mouse. I wonder why I didn't like that. Ah, we're not welded. All right, I'm just going to get rid of these guys. I do have Object X turned on, so I don't know why that weld didn't work. Let's try it again. There we are. A little awkward, but it might just be my inexperience with quad draw about why it feels funny. It's like you gotta kind of, there's just like an extra axis of movement that controls like that right there. It's like if I push it the other way, it seems like if I move it towards the edge, it pulls away. So that's kind of the thing about it. It's just a little bit unintuitive, but still a cool feature. Still something I'm excited to get to learn. You might be thinking to yourself, why are you learning it if you're also teaching it? Well, that's just the way it goes. Like I said, I'm kind of a ZBrush guy by default. But ZBrush is a little bit of a, it's a little bit more challenging on the Pocketbook for students than Maya. So here we are. Pocketbook. I think I just said that out loud. Let's see, we'll do something like this. So I'm actually, because it does break the silhouette in a pretty significant way, I'm going to support that with dedicated geometry. Which means I'm going to get out of this crevice here. Probably about like that. Oops. So the reason you keep seeing relax pop up is if you hit shift over geometry that exists, it's the default behavior is, will you give it to me now? Yeah, cool. Is to basically just smooth whatever your selection is out, which is kind of cool. Not exactly the functionality I'm going for with a hard surface retop, but if it was like you know, something organic, that might be a nice way to go. Oh, I am way over my time. Okay, well, we'll just pause this video and pick it up in the next one.